contact!
How deep can you plunge into the darkness?
Through the dark veil of space, time.
I wish we could have joined you sooner.
This is Warp Chatter!
Time is short. There is much to be done.
The wait ends now.
Okay, we're back to the Warp Chatter podcast once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the podcast dedicated to talking about the Horus Heresy Legion digital card game, Horus Heresy lore, Warhammer 40,000, everything that encompasses. This is the podcast by players for players. And with us, we're going to be talking to another player who's returning to the podcast. We've got with us this week, Syndicalopithecus.
Greetings.
I'm pretty sure that's how you say it.
Yeah.
All right. And I am your host, Scuff D. With me, as always, is the crowd co-host, Axel Manning.
Howdy ho, folks.
Hello. Our topic of discussion today is really just kind of a broad topic. We've got the 4th anniversary celebration. As of this recording, the 4th anniversary download took place yesterday. All sorts of updates and features added, and cosmetics, and all sorts of craziness ensued.
For the folks at home, it'll be 1 week ago.
It will be. So hopefully by then you've had enough time to kind of test the waters out and see how things are going. So we're going to be kind of diving in and talking about that. But before we do, we always want to talk to the players who are guesting on. Syndical was on a few weeks back, maybe a month or so ago. 2 months? It's been a while. But yeah. Syndical, tell us about yourself.
As I've said, I've been a two-year player in Horus Heresy Legion. I discovered it during COVID lockdown, lots of that stuff, and now I'm still a player. I think I'm starting to get a hang of the game, and I wish I can get veteran status soon, at least in the community.
All right. Well, it took 2 years, but you're getting the hang of the game. You mean just veteran status in game, or veteran status in terms of just like experience level,
experience level.
Yeah.
Experience level, because even though if you're long enough for a player, if you have no experience, there is some kind of rift between you and other players who have been longer in the game and have achieved higher heights. Let's just say it's like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, there's sometimes, especially, I mean, the game has been going on for 4 years. Obviously, 4-year celebration. There are some players who've been around for a long time at different standings, and to go with that, sometimes there is that degree of, whether it's ego or they just feel like they know what they're talking about because they've had their opinion made up over a long time. I'm one of those on some topics. I won't deny that. But definitely, Mike. And you feel like, how long does it take to get some clout before people will feel the same about your opinion? So I can understand that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, at the same day, we're all playing the same game. I mean, if we've got somebody coming in who has 2 days of experience and doesn't know a whole lot about, the card game, that's a whole different thing. But if you got somebody who's playing 2 years, you've been playing the same thing, you might not have all the cards, but you should have a good enough idea, right?
Good enough, yeah. A good enough grasp of the game to form an opinion on something. Mm-hmm. Like what is broken, what's not, what needs some balance changes, buffs, like Tariq Torgadon, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress.
Digress as you will. I mean, one of the topics we're talking with the 4-year anniversary is, the stuff that was added for new and veteran players. And I've talked with a few different people over the last couple of days, and even before the features went live, and it's nice that we're getting some of them. I mean, there's more crates, there's level up, there's prestige. But, I mean, realistically, it's a dick measuring contest. We just got more tools to measure dicks with. That's really what this is. And to some extent, there are people who are like, oh, well, I've already got this many prestige, or I've already got this many premium cards. I mean, we kind of were already doing that anyways. We just put it in different forms. Like before, we'd be like, oh, how many experience points do you have? Oh, how many, how many War Masters do you have? How many gems do you have? How many, whatever the case may be, how many legendary points? It's this.
And there is something of a perception of respect and looking at someone higher when they have more skulls in their username,
Mm-hmm.
When you see someone with 2 skulls or 3 skulls, you're like, wow, this guy has been playing since maybe beta or something. And it's surprising. Yeah.
There are some players out there with some stupid amount of skulls.
Well, and to go with that, it's not just how long they've been playing. Like, I think really it's how many games.
Dedication.
Yeah.
The dedication they have to the game.
I was just going to say, you could use a warlord like Karn and run through some games to get that number a lot higher.
Yeah. Well, there are some players out there like that have not been playing the game as long, but have played much more since they started. That have a lot of skills because they just play who knows how many games in a day. I've been playing the game since beta, but I typically play anywhere between 5 to maybe 10 games at most in a day. Usually it's 5. And if I'm playing event runs, I'll play more on the weekend. I'll play 15, 20 games maybe in one day. It's not a lot. I've only got 2 skulls or 2 bronze skulls. I'm level 76, 77, so I'm crouching on 3rd skull, but I've been playing as long as the game has been around. But then there's some guys who just play more games in a day, have got more experience, and they're at 4 or 5 skulls, bronze skulls. So I mean, that experience is experience. I mean, it doesn't matter how many games you play or how long you play. You got experience that's reflective in that count. But there is a little bit of you play a lot. Yeah, how much time do you have to play? And you could have started the game last year, and if you can bust out 1,000 games a day, 1,000 demons games a day, you might just make that.
1,000 demons. Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
And by the way, Axel, that corn joke was funny, but let's get back in. Yeah, that's
what you do. You play corn, you play Karn, you fucking race to that goddamn.
Yeah. Even if you win or you lose, you win. And I think with the 4th anniversary update, with the experience boosters, I think there are a lot of players who will not have that much of a hard time reaching level 100. So
it's definitely going to be easier now.
Mm-hmm.
And couple that with the mentor program, I think a lot of more players will be proselytized. Is that the right word? Proselytized into the game would have a more easier time studying about the game and that's why
I hope
know how to put it in words.
Yeah, no, I mean it helps because that first entry, where it's is this? I mean, how big is this game? There's a lot of cards. I really don't know. But if you've got a mentor that is helping you get through those levels, giving you some gems, giving you some tips, ideally that should help get you incentivized to keep playing. I haven't yet gotten any neophytes. I put it out there a couple times in Global, put it out in the Discord. I mean, the thing is with Discord is, I think it takes a while for people to find the Discord. I don't think I found the Discord until I was level 80, So, I mean, maybe 70. I was definitely above level 50 before I was like, oh, I should check out this Discord thing. Somebody's just starting. They're probably just going to see Global Chat, and even then, they may not really know much about the mentor system. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to see that be productive, unless you are directly hey, I know my 3 friends that want to play. I'm going to get them in the game and I'll mentor them and hook them up with whatever. That's probably the best and easiest way to go about doing it.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to put a word out, but I think the mentor program is all and well, but sometimes it lacks a feature. It lacks the student or the student aspirant wanting to be the mentor of a certain player. And the only way you can have a student is to invite them.
Mm-hmm.
But not the way. It cannot be the way around. There are no applications for the student itself wanting to be someone's player. For example, me.
Right.
I'm level 5 or something, and I want to be a student of Scuffy or Axel, but there is no way for that. And global chat in the game is not that interactive. Let's just say that.
Right. I think there's
You can-
I think there's a lot of room there. I agree. Like if you're looking for a lodge, and if a lodge has got themselves open to the public, you can just jump into a lodge, or you can be private and you got to get an invite. But that's a lodge. There's a lot less lodges than there are players, so I don't think there's any way for them to make it so that you could just scroll through every player in the game. But if you at least had the option to, when you tabbed on a player name in the global chat, invite player or request trainee or something, or request mentor, that might make it a little bit easier to make that happen. Where, like, if somebody's just talking, like, hey, I've got 2 spots open for trainees, and somebody clicks on that and hops in, that would be a lot easier to help facilitate that.
Also global chat. I love Google. I love the translate feature of chat, but it needs to have a mention too, so we can trash talk each other or something like that. Or when, especially when I beat 1,000 demons at fucking horse player. I hate that guy so much. But it's just matter. But mentioning someone when you need someone from them, or you want to request something from them, a duel. I think it's one of those features that should have been included in the 4th year anniversary update.
Yeah, this was a good update for quality of life decisions.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot of new animations that have been added. There's some stuff that's been cleaned up. We had their crates got a polished look. They're different looking crates. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Jubok and Malgahurst actually have the same animation now when they're copying stuff. So I'm wondering.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, it's the same animation.
I haven't seen that because I play with my particle effects off.
Oh, okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah, if you're playing with particle effects off, you won't see it. But there's been a lot of new animations added. Like I've heard Vengeful Spirit has got a new animation. Overlays for like when you trigger or when a card meets the criteria for perfection or courage. That looks different.
Also, when you click on something, it has a high tech sound, like a ping ping.
Oh, does it?
Like that.
Oh, does it?
I
play without audio, so I would have never noticed.
Yes. When you click on something, for example, you click on a deck, you click on decks, there's a ping sound. A new ping sound. It's very, very high tech. It sounds so 30K.
Nice. Yeah, I play with audio off too, so I wouldn't catch any audio enhancements. I've just seen the visual stuff, so I wonder if there's other audio stuff out there for like menus or who knows what. Interesting. Because you've got, I'm thinking there's been the Jubok animation, Vengeful Spirit, Malgahurst and Jubok share the same, so I'm wondering if there's other cards that copy or create that have got new animations, perhaps? What else?
I've heard someone say Death Cloud also had an improved animation.
Right. Yeah, I heard that too. I haven't seen it, so I do kind of want to see what that looks like. But I mean, so there's that, right? We got those new animations. We've got some crisper crate images. The card art itself hasn't changed, but the frames for the premium cards definitely look good.
I like the premium look, but the chest looks different. I don't know if it's just me whining about something.
Yeah.
It looks different. It doesn't look like chests,
Mm-hmm.
It looks like something else. Maybe it's just us or me being used to the old crates. But it looks different.
I think
I do
it's
like
a little more sleek.
Yeah. I like the new look.
Yep. Yeah, the premium frames are eye-catchy. It's taken me a while to get used to.
They're hit or miss.
Yeah, there's some that I don't like, but there's like I've had, because I think right off the bat, anybody who had the gems went out and tried to premium at least one deck and one faction at least, which I know I did. I was already geared up to do the Imperial Fist. I did it. Fantastic. Cost 69,000 gems or something like that. Worth it.
Nice.
But then when you have a handful of premium cards, it's a little distracting. Like I played a game and I was kind of like, oh, I have to like. because it hides the rarity that I'm used to seeing on the cards. So I've got to really kind of pay a little bit more attention on some of the art that's similar. And, I mean, I'll get used to it, but
I mean, it all looks like legendaries now, which is why I think what is the word? Pointing for, going for, yeah. That is what they are going for. For even if there are common cards, they will look like legendaries. Make it look, give it sleek, futuristic look.
Yeah, if you've got a foil card in print, a foil is a foil. It doesn't matter what the rarity is; it looks good. You know, they should all look the same. What do you think as far as the frames go? What are your favorites? What are your least favorites?
Even though RG is really fucking broken right now, I like Raven Guard with those turbines. I like the runes on those Space Wolves. The Custodes one makes legendaries look like mega legendaries. Those are my favorite 3 cards. I think the underwhelming ones are the Ages of the Sigilite. I think for Sigilite they didn't have that much pizzazz or the green look to them, which is what the Sigilites are aiming for most of the time.
I really like the Runestorm one. The Runestorm one looks really good. I don't even play Runestorm, but I really like that one. I have to say, for short on the stick, I'm trying to... The problem with the ones that aren't great is they're so forgettable, I can barely remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Death Guard have one that's really similar to another group ones. Like, I like the Death Guard ones, but I'm near certain they have a similar... Oh, Orphans of War. And not even related to the similar one. Orphan of War is really boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for those who haven't seen those. I haven't seen those.
The Death Guard one, I haven't seen anything that's like it. The Death Guard one has got...
It's good.
As long as it's not a character, if it's a tactic, the frames have got like ooze, like sludge that kind of like sloshes from side to side in it. It's pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm. I could have sworn there was another group that had a similar frame, but it was blood sloshing. I can't remember which one.
That could be, but I don't think it wouldn't be Runestorm. It wouldn't be Chaos. So
no,
and it's not Blood Angels. Blood Angels have got the little drop.
Yeah.
For me, like I like the Agents of Sigil. It's a little subtle, but I like the flames at the top there. I think the Word Bearer's flames is much better on their Diabolist. That's really like center and present. I think my favorite, it's a tie between those or the Mechanicum, because I like that mech and dendrite, like the lamp effect. That's really cool looking.
Yeah. It was a Death Guard, it was a Blood Angels, by the way. They have the exact same, except instead of green, it's red.
So they've got the red. Okay.
Yeah. Still looks good though.
Least favorite though for me is like White Scars and Imperial Army. Like they're pretty. Orphans of War is up there. It's just boring, and all 3 of them are kind of like the Imperial Army. At least have got something.
It looks good on tactics.
But that's it.
Yeah.
I just want to sway away from the topic, but I want to shout out Trippy Hippy. He made a king shot deck that actually works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
I faced him several times on ladder, like 3,900k trophies, and he's like 3-6. He's playing this fucking mission Kinsha, and he made it work. It's really fun. Yeah. It's still broken, but I can commend him because he made it so creatively. He made the mission work. Defeated me. Yeah.
If that's how you want to roll.
Props to him.
I was playing Mission Hibu today, so that was fun. I like Hibu lore-wise a little bit more than Kinza, but I like them both. And I like them both head and shoulders above Jagatai and Targatai, which is a shame, because I don't want to have to say that. But
Targatai is a burn warlord. He's not a white scars warlord. He's a burn warlord.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. I do think White Scars, their premium border, though, it's not bad. It looks good on tactics, but only when it lights up. It does a little fire effect.
Otherwise, it's very bland. It just looks like the emblem from the cosmetic shop. It doesn't look like anything special. It
looks especially good, though, on the Warlord, because you can see the fire just shoot up behind its attack, but it's also not high enough. Like, it should just be a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I think,
Yeah,
they're pretty boring.
I spent a little bit more gold than I intended to buying premium crates. I kind of got sucked in. I was like, all right, I'll go for a legendary, and I got Alfarius, and I don't know how many crates it was. It's like, okay, I'm like, and then later I was like, okay, I'll go for another legendary. But that one took me all the way to 30 crates for like 250 gold. I was like, it was.
Ooh.
So basically, I spent all the gold I got from all the crates I got for free, which is fine, not a big deal. But at the same time, I kind of wish I would have got that legendary sooner. But it's okay.
Actually,
it's got.
These are good looking.
That free crit with a guaranteed legendary is bait, bro. After
Yeah.
I opened that crit, I wanted more legendaries.
You want
So
that
I spent
fix,
like
right?
7.
Yeah, it gets you up.
That dopamine rush when you get a legendary.
I
I
can't.
spent like 7,000
Not
gold
wrong.
on a single chest, bro, and I didn't get what I wanted. I did. Yeah.
What did you get? What was the legendary that you ended up with?
I think Valdor,
All
the
right,
premium
well,
Valdor.
that's not bad.
I mean, that's been good. I got Shield of the Emperor, the fucking vehicle they got.
Oh,
Wait, and there was a bug. I got it as a duplicate, so I got
Oh.
like 1,600 gems, and then I contacted EG, God bless their hearts and soul, and they gave me Valdor and let me keep the gems, which is very, very
that's
awesome.
nice. That's cool.
If they accidentally give you something, EG won't take it away. Like some moderator behind the scenes, someone accidentally got Alt Art Mortarion because they were trying to fix a bug and accidentally gave someone Alt Art Mortarion. I don't know how that happened, but that series of events happened.
I think the only thing they've ever taken away was when they had Crucible Abaddon in the shop, and that was it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like that makes sense,
Right. But
Can't have that.
I mean, that's pretty good. I got from the free crate. From the free crate, I got. I'm trying to remember what the legendary was. Ecritrez. I got Ecritrez from the free crate, which wasn't bad because I'll use him. And then I got Alfarius, and then my big buy was like, all right, I went all the way to like 29 crates. I got Canis Vertex.
Ooh, his arms probably look real good.
They don't. That's the shame.
They don't?
No. It just
Wait,
it looks like it's. I mean, they've got the frame and they've got the little chaos mark, but because they have hit points, it kind of
they don't look as good.
They don't look as good because some of that art from the frame is covered up by the hit points. So it looks okay. It stands out, but it's not like, oh, this thing is loaded to the gills. I mean, so I was like, cool, Legendary Warlord, I'll take it because I don't have to spend a premium, who knows how many gems to make this thing. But it was Canis Vertex.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Still,
it is what it is.
It's a legendary.
I
I got Paragon Spear as mine.
Hey, if you're going to get a legendary, that's a good one to get.
And it looks good because it's 3 Paragon Spears on the same card. The 2 on the border and the 1 in the middle.
Right.
So it looks ridiculous. I love it.
It's too gaudy, but I like it.
Exactly. That's the important part. That's why I like it. It's so gaudy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Well, custodies are gaudy. Let's be real.
Well, yeah. That's part of the attraction to him.
Yeah.
So we're looking there great.
It's funny. Like, I know the premium thing, the premium crates, was because there was a few features. I think we would say there's probably about 3 or 4 features that got added. 3 that we talked about on the podcast last episode, and then I think the experience boost was not something mentioned. I think that's a cool addition. We can talk about that in a little bit, but there was some people were like, "Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll go for that," or not. And like some people are like, "Oh, okay, what's the whole deal about these fancy cards?" And I haven't seen anybody make that comment since they've been added to the game. Like I've had some people like actually they're not too bad. Like yeah, I got it for free. I bought a couple more. Like these kind of look nice. Like so, first
I've heard a few complaints.
Yeah,
but they're mainly quality of life ones. Like the fact that they double stack in your deck is really annoying in deck building.
Yeah, I think there's room for quality of life improvements in terms of how they work or how you can select them or whatever. But in terms of like appearance and actual okay, these might be something some people might not chase after, but aren't terrible.
Yeah. I think some of the biggest problems they have is just, that.
Yeah.
Besides that, all the borders look good. Even the ones that aren't great, they're still unique and bordered.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've noticed before the update, a lot of people were hating on it.
Yeah.
When EG were dropping this sneak peeks on what will happen, and why not balance chain? Why not do this? Why not do that? Why not give this a buff? But when the update dropped, they were like, "Wow, these cards are awesome. This quality of life changes were life changing."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people just weren't patient.
Well, I think that's just it. Like, it's not enough. It's not what they want right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get a balance patch every month.
That's it's guaranteed.
We're going to get a balance patch every month. You're not going to get
Every
new additions to the game, whether it's features or cosmetics or overlays or formats or font. That doesn't happen all the time, you know?
No, not the font.
Yeah. I mean, but the balance patch, like, okay, well, you just had one 2 weeks ago. Like, I mean, it wasn't the best. We talked about that. I mean, it wasn't the best balance patch, but it was a balance patch, and in 2 more weeks, we'll have another balance patch. But now we've got a couple more things that maybe over the course of the next several balance patches or Q&As or whatever, like, you know, we can look to improve in terms of like, hey, now that we've added these features, can we try doing X, Y, and Z to make them more interesting? Like, we've already got achievements for the premium collections, but we don't have any achievements yet for Mentoring. We don't have any achievements yet for Prestiges. I mean, Prestige is kind of achievement in and of itself, but those could be things to add, you know, to throw in there, like, you know, complete, you know, graduate X amount of trainees or, you know, whatever. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Just something
give so many gems, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would like to see from what we've had is the experience boosts. The boost juice is what I'm going to call it from here on out.
The boost juice.
It's
gotta
so
juice
good.
your boys.
Gotta juice the boys, baby, with the boost juice.
Also, I think the experience boosters or the boost juice, they need to have more variety, you know? Green, blue, red.
Yeah,
different colors.
I take
like
that.
Yeah.
That would look nice.
I take some different rarity colors there. But the big complaint I've got with it, and I know others have as well, and it's not just because, like, day one,
I know what this is.
Everybody with Prestige opened up a whole bunch of crates, and you know, boom, we got a bunch of experience bonus while we're getting our things, and that's great. And you know, there we go. Like, some people, I think the highest I heard somebody get was to 2,000. I myself got to 1,700%. That's a lot of percentage, and then I had about 30 minutes to play games at that level. But a couple things there is the fact that the boost juice is immediately triggered as soon as you open the crate and is not a selective expendable. I think that's
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing, because if you're a player and you're like, okay, I've got just enough time to go in and I'll check my free crate, or I've got just enough time to play one game to finish my daily, and then you get an experience bonus that's good for, like, you know, a half hour or 3 hours, and you're like, well, I wasn't going to play till 9. I don't have time. It would be nice for players to be able to save those and use them at their own convenience, because people play at different times just because they got it in a crate. If you can do that with tickets and you can do that with gold and gems, I don't see why you can't do that with the boost juice.
Yeah, it's weird. It would be nice if you could bank it up, because, yeah, I open these crates at work. I got a 10-minute break. By the time I get back to my next break, I don't got my booster anymore.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep.
I want to be able to use my boosters.
You know, when the update dropped in, I saw some of my lodge mates have like 4,000 or 3,000% XP boost. I was like, why aren't these
those are crazy,
stackable or storable in an inventory or something?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a large waste of boost juice.
Right, and then on top of that, it's. I mean, by the time you get through all those crates, like, there's a lot of time that's spent opening crates, so you really aren't playing the game. So you have even less window. Whereas if you had it banked up and you're like, hey, you know what? I got Saturday off. I'm gonna be sitting and playing Legions for 3 or 4 hours. I'm gonna trigger like 4 or 5 of these things and let's go to town. You know, like, that would be more optimal for players who want to then proceed to level up, and it's at a better time. Whether they choose to use it or not, it's a better option, I think. So I hope that's something that we see get improved, because I would like to see that.
That could be nice.
Yeah. Good
quality of life feature. People would like it.
Yeah. And as far as a consumable goes, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see them show up in the shop for real money for purchase. I mean, it would be would not be a good buy, you know. But if you were to make it a consumable, let's say, and then you could sell 50 of them, 50 half-hour boosts for the same price as 10 tickets, that might be attractive to a few select, you know, demographic of players. might be something to consider. So I don't know. It's just new to the game, but that was one big thing that I know struck me talking to other players. I think was also out there's like, man, I wish we could pick when we use these.
Yeah, I see a lot of that because exactly that. You open up the crates, you don't have the time to play, but you're going to play later today. You're just wasting the XP, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Really, my only complaint.
My first, typically when there's a new expansion or something new added, I wake up in the morning and I log in and I see what the updates are and, fiddle around, maybe open a couple crates, and then I get ready for work and go out. So that right out the way, I open up like 15, 20 crates, and then I realize I'm like, oh, I got some of these boosts. They're going to expire. Well, I'm going to wait now. Too bad I have to go to work for 8 hours. So I go to work, I come back, and like half of them are gone, obviously, so they start over again. But it's like, that's just the typical, that's just me, like that's my time. I know there's a lot of people who were in the same situation. It's a one-time thing, because it's not like everybody's going to magically have 300 prestige crates to open all of a sudden ever again. But
this might just be a big veteran problem.
If we're getting them in event crates, and you have a 10 run, and you get 5, I don't know, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a missed opportunity. Because if you don't open the crates, you can't open shit.
Yes, it covers up your daily crate. Yeah. You can't get your daily crate.
It covers up your daily crate. If it was stackable or something, or it had a limit like 0 out of 10 or 0 out of 20, and when you get the 20 crates, all those stacked boost juice should be spent, or the juice from the crate will be discarded, so you need to use it, but it needs to have some kind of storage, so it will not be wasted, or it will have an optimal use when you need it.
The current iteration, it's just, you're wasting them, and that's not good.
No. And I mean, I'm sure by the time people heard this, they probably burned through all theirs, and that's fine, and we'll have more to look forward to, but I do think that is something that can be improved upon. Really, for the other stuff, so far, I mean, we talked about the mentor system, which I think there's some room there to make it a little bit easier for inviting or finding a mentor. I think there's got to be a better way to do it.
Yeah. And here is another one. The ability button, the active ability button, is below the card now.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Not on.
I like that a lot. That looks good.
I like it because if you're not using any premiums, it makes you see the card more. All the features of the card and its details. Not so much on mobile, but when you're playing on a laptop or a desktop, you can see the card more.
Yep.
Very awesome. And the stand of the card itself is gold. Is that a new feature or something, or is it from a long time ago?
I think it's new.
I haven't noticed the stand that the card's actually sitting on. I haven't really noticed. I know it looks the same in terms of what can act, like with the red or green rings, but I haven't noticed the actual stand color.
I know the card back will turn premium. I know that.
Yes. Oh yeah. If you have if you have a whole deck that's premium, your card back will be shiny. Like it's a shame that you can't see it from what the opponent can see, because it's kind of the only thing you can really see is when it's sitting down on your deck before you have drawn the card. But it kind of has like a sheen or a reflection to it. But also, if you have a all premium deck, in your deck slots, you get premium deck slots. That's right. You get a deck, and then the deck frame with that warlord is all premium, like golded out. So, premium deck slots, Axel.
I never saw it would see the day.
It happened.
I'm kind of sad, even.
You know what? All I had to do was premium mount one deck, and it cost me an arm and a leg, but I did it.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was. Premium deck slot number 1 was the first thing. I was like, what am I going to make this premium deck slot? Alexis Pollux. Let's do it, baby. No regrets.
I can't blame you, but at the same time, I do.
The question now is, it's a quest for me, because now that I have all these deck slots filled up, at some point, I got to get all these deck slots premiumed, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
That's your commitment.
I
respect it.
I've got, it's you know what? Everybody has something to chase. And for me, it's this.
It's deck slots.
Yeah.
Also, Scuff, regarding the card back shining when it is a premium, does it, can the opponent see it?
Yes,
For example,
pretty
you
sure,
have
yeah.
yes, yeah, they can. Yeah, when they have when they have an all premium deck, what they see is your frame of your card is premiumed as well. So you have the card back, it's gold, it's the card back image, but the frame has got that premium. You don't have the artwork, that you see on the card front, but you can tell by the backside that it's premiumed out. And if you have
I mean, when it is not
oh, go ahead.
when it is not a premium deck, there are just select cards.
Right. If it's a select card and it's not the whole deck, then they don't see its premium until they play it.
Yeah. Also, if your deck is entirely premium, so is your counterattack. So it's at home.
That's right. Your counterattack, if you have a warlord or a card that is premium that generates other cards, those cards will be generated premiumly.
Yeah, and it looks sick.
If Alfarius is premium and he copies a card, regardless of your opponent's deck, every card he copies and draws is premium.
They did a good job making things look good this time around.
They did. I mean, I cannot deny it.
Premiums are good looking. There's no denial there. Even the borders that are kind of they're still good looking.
I like it. I mean, it's not, and that's for premium cards. Let's be real. Premium and prestige are for the veteran players.
Oh yeah,
100%.
New players don't care.
They're not. New players are like, man, if they got a premium card, they'll be like, whoa, this is like. Can you imagine if the new player, you log in, you're like, all right, whoa, this has got a gold frame, and you're like, oh, that's just seek and destroy. But it's a premium seek and destroy. They would probably be
gold Loken.
Pretty.
Yeah, instantly sad. Like Loken is the cheapest premium that they can make, and it'll still cost him 80 gems, which as a new player might take you a long time to get.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
New players are not getting that duplicate gems that we have to suffer from.
Nope. No,
especially
it's really hard.
Especially when the tutorial stage of the game isn't that in depth. A lot of new players will think that will not play event or not join lodges, which is what happened in my case because I just played the game, but I never really interacted with the community. So I think EG will do well if they make a more in-depth tutorial to highlight these features.
Yeah.
And when they click event, there will be some kind of a pop-up that will say that you can earn gems here, or you can use your tickets to join this event. You can refund all your tickets when you win, or something like that.
Yeah, getting your tickets refunded when you win at 12. That wasn't something that was common knowledge. Like, you just had to hear it from somebody else. I mean... Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a times 10 tickets in the event. I was playing times 1 event and spent 400 or 500 gems for a single run in a single ticket.
And that's the
because
worst
there
thing.
Is no...
Yeah, when you're rerolling gems on a single run, it's not... I mean... It's a deck, but you get way more value for it when it's a 10 times run, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're probably not making back those gems. Even on a good day, you're not making back the gems you spend on them.
No.
10 times, usually you will.
Unless you're going like a meme crazy, and you're like, all right, every pack is going to have a legendary. How many gems can I spend on this pack? I think there's still going to be people who do that occasionally, but I think with the premium cards now, I think there's reasons for people to not do that and consider keeping their gems.
I know so many people who burnt 100K on one pack and event just for the joke, and then premium card comes out and they have no gems to make their packs that they want premium.
Well, you know what you do? You say, "Who's laughing now?"
I think that's EG's plan all along.
That was it.
Make players spend gems.
That's what they're doing. They're draining all
the economy a bit. Exactly.
And then they're going to add the new game mode that is a secondary resource for gems, and we're all going to be fools.
Wait, what?
Oh,
there's a new game mode?
I don't know. You've never heard of this. EG has been promising for a while a new game mode that will... It has so many features in it now that I refuse to believe it's real. But one of those features is another use for gems.
Yeah, the way back when the word of this new feature mode, whatever it was going to be called, we still don't have an official know what it is called. It's supposed to be a new mode or player feature. Second use for gems is really what we all called it. It was teased and mentioned by Everguild prior to the Calth expansion.
It's been a while.
Right before the Clout expansion released, and then they said, well, so there's a lot to it. We're going to do it at the end of the Clout expansion, and then they just kept pushing it back, and we are like 4 expansions after Clout, and we still don't have it. But what it's supposed to be is it is supposed to be some sort of new, whether it is a mode or a feature that is kind of like a shop or a tournament or a ladder or a who knows what, that is supposed to give players another way to spend gems for something. And it's also supposed to include lodges, lodge interaction, and it's also supposed to include like cosmetics. And it's not like there's so much stuff that like supposedly it will include or has been, like, yes, it's going to have all these things that it's just like, all right, how much more can we say is included in this? And it probably isn't that. Like, what could it realistically be?
By the way, I was making a joke because that new game mode that's been pushed back for so long that I deny that it's real or it even exists.
I think that's fair.
I agree.
I think that's fair. I think at this point, like, talking about
it's El Dorado.
It's exactly. It's like it's the myth, right?
I think it's just the campaign mode, and they're just
no. They've mentioned before it's not the campaign mode.
That was the best when campaign mode came out. They specifically said this is not that feature that we were talking about.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do they?
We promise this is not the feature.
That's coming. There'll be more.
It's coming. Trust me, it's gonna come. And like, what will happen is it'll be like the last day of the game. 4 years from now, I'm gonna give it 4 more years. 4 years from now, then it's like right before the servers go down. They're like, here it is. What is it? It's like you pay your gems to download the game and just play it by yourself.
It's a single player version of the game.
Single player. All your gems. You basically take all your decks and you turn them into bots, and then you play against all your decks on repeat.
Don't give them ideas.
First off, that's a good idea. Player generated bots. Let's make that happen.
I mean, anything would be better than the current bots. They may have good decks. Well, they may have fine decks, but they don't know what they're doing with them.
Yeah, the AI is terrible. I think the AI, if they would scale the AI up to be like a level 3 raid boss, I'd take it.
That's what you want to do.
Let's do it. Listen, player-made bots. First off, we need new bots. I don't know when the last time they added new bots was, but there's a lot of new warlords that are not bots, and I demand to see them.
Yeah, new pun names as well. That's just a requirement.
Gotta have those. We gotta have player-made bot decks and stronger, more intimidating AI. So when people turn bots off, it's not because they turn bots off because they want to race through matchmaking. They're turning bots off because they're scared to play bots. Let's do that. Let's make that the mentality.
We want fear of our AI overlords.
Yes.
Also, if Dark Mechanicum drops, make the Chaos Mechanandrites or those Chaos Marks have more features. When a vehicle has a Chaos Mark of change, make their wings like robotic or something, or make.
I know
that could be cool. Yeah,
because we already have a few we know what you're saying because we already have a few cases of that. Like Unstoppable on Corax and Sanguinius has a really cool design. I'm near certain the Demon Host have like some leathery wings.
Yeah, they have much more like leathery wings versus the Demon wings. They're a little different than Demon Host wings.
Come on, EG. If the Word Bears have these beautiful and elaborate Demon Host parts, why can't other troops have those features as well? Like,
it'd be nice.
When even the Terror Man, like the Terror Bark in Slanesh, it's just a hand. There are no like fangs or something. Give them something much more colorful.
It'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see more scare. We want more scare. That's what I'm hearing.
I agree.
That's what I'm hearing. Well, with the patch, so I mean, it's not even a patch. With the balance feature added, so we had the prestige system, we had the mentor system, we've had the premium cards, we have the experience boost, we have a new campaign and new events as well. I'm a little irked by this current event. And for those who don't know, if you are on Discord or whatnot, I believe someone's got a petition going around to get Bjorn's ability changed, which is a fair request because its ability is not great. But I'm more concerned with the fact that this is like an outright, like one-sided ambush of Sheed getting added to the game.
No chance.
With the Raven Guard and Space Wolves, who are warded and stealthed, and then you're going to give us like crap warlords, Abaddon, and I think Draeger's in here. Who else is in there?
Fuck.
And,
if I can remember.
Junk. I mean, I might as well put Chaos Spawn in there. I mean, come on. And I'm talking, and even new Chaos Spawn won't stand a chance. He's got 25 health. That's sentence material right there. I'm a little disappointed with how one-sided that event is.
The only upside I can see, and even then I'm kind of pushing it with it, at least if he loses, he's not gone forever. He can still come back.
This is true. He could, and he probably will.
Yeah.
I think then if my predictions are correct, and I hate predicting or making guesses because I really, because then you just get into crazy territory. But I believe the next event will probably give us the 5th Warlord for White Scars, so we're probably gonna get Janks Icon.
At least I hope we get him specifically.
So we'll probably get him, and then after that, we'll probably have another playoff who gets what, like whether it is, at that point would be Dark Angels, Ultramarines, and Alpha Legion. If we end up getting the Space Wolves, so it could be a playoff between Dark Angels and Ultramarines. Could be. We could see it. We could be like, oh, here's Holguin, and here's Droger, both of which are actually going to kind of do the same thing, but one will do it better.
One will do it significantly better.
Yeah. I hope we don't get that match because it's going to just be an event where it's like, really? Okay.
I never realized how similar those guys were, but one is just significantly better.
When you put them side by side, you're like, oh, this guy makes it random. This guy picks one of 3 for a faction that really has a strong rally courage mechanic. That seems good.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, of course.
We will.
Yeah. Event.
Even if Space Wolf wins here, they lose.
Yeah.
So I will not be participating in this.
Yeah.
What the hell, bro? At least fix Jorn before release, like what they did with Fafnir Rand. Because Fafnir Rand was absolutely broken, but he was kind of balanced or put in level with other warlords. But Jorn, he's just
boring.
What were they thinking when they did this?
My biggest issue with him
loyalists.
My biggest issue with our good boy Bjorn is he has no synergy with his card pool because it's all based on pack, and he's not attacking; he's using his ability. And unlike most of the new warlords that came out with I'm trying to think of what it is. The new warlords that came out with GIF, most of them have synergy around their new cards.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's the biggest stretch. Namus is keeping his infantry alive. The new Raven Guard is giving sentence. I'm trying to think of them. The new White Scar is helping with streak. Like, they all have synergy around GIF. Grey Guard doesn't have anything to work with GIF.
No, sadly. I mean, like, he comes from an age where the pace in the game's a little bit different. Paying 2 energy for 1 damage, even though if the benefit is a potential gain survivor 2 is overpriced, and like if he had a passive, if his ability was 1 for 1, that's just it. Deal 1 for 1. But he had passive pack gain survivor 2 or heal 2 or something. That would be much better, and it would actually be lore friendly. That's my pitch.
Give him a special card to become a dreadnought.
Make it heal 1. The pack effect.
Well, because the thing is, a lot of people think, oh, like that's too much. Pack triggers more with Lehman Russ because of Lehman Russ's act again ability. That's why we see pack. But realistically, Space Wolves might get 2 pack off in a turn with your non-pack like act again warlords. So like you could flank like late game. You could flank for 3 if you've got the tactic that drops 2 of the hunters and you've got something else on the board. But that's about all you're getting. You get way more out of it when you have Leman Russ, who's also acting again and triggering other packs. And that's where I think some people get confused. So you could tone his pack up a little bit. Healing 1, healing 2, I feel heal 1's not enough. Heal 2 or give Survivor 1, I take that.
Yeah, that could be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But we're probably not going to get that. Let's be real. We're going to get the Space Wolf that's going to sit, and the Space Wolves, maybe, you know what, maybe their patch time will come after he gets added as the 5th Warlord, because they haven't had a patch since Prospero.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
well,
we've done the Thousand Suns. We've done Custodes. We did Night Lords. Space Wolves are due.
We've done Iron Hands 15 times.
Oh, God, let's not do them anymore. Or Iron Warriors. Let's just stop.
Also, give Space Wolves more draw. Or make some of their draw tactics cost less.
Well, that's
because I ain't gonna pay
when you're balancing them. If they get too much draw too quick, the Leman Russ, I kill you at 6 energy becomes easier. And that kind of...
I mean, come on. Raven Guard already had that draw treatment.
For the problem with them is we don't want to just buff something. They deserve a rework because they are a bygone era, that entire Legion, and it shows.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a shame too because I like the Space Wolves in 30k more than 40k for obvious reasons that rhyme with wolf. But their in game is just you don't see anything but Leman Russ. Maybe occasionally you'll see Other.
Yep.
It's a shame because they're a neat Legion. They have some weird mechanics. They brought Ward to the game, which Ward was cool. Ward's different. And now they just kind of exist as this hyper aggro faction led by Leman Russ.
And that's really it. And it's not even like a different build, right? It's Russ with everything that can flank and his Aldrum Hunters.
Yep.
And
Baelai.
And then you gotta have Baelai. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta have their legendaries that aren't Corpse Spawn.
Gotta put Baelai. But that's it. Like, so it's not. That's his strategy. Like, let's give me something to have my boys attack while I beat your face in. It works for him great. It doesn't work the same for the others. And at the same time, the others aren't great anyway. Like Bolvi, oh, poor sad Bolvi.
Poor Bolvi.
If I had to take Bolvi and Bjorn, I'd take Bjorn over Bolvi. That's how bad.
Which says a lot.
Is it Bolvi or Gygor?
No. Gygor is actually better than Bolvi, in my opinion, just because he's got a damage-dealing ability.
I agree. At least he has something to do.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, he does, definitely.
Both of them suck. That's the problem we have, though. Both of them suck.
Right. It's like a question of who sucks more. That's the worst.
It's an awful way to look at a Legion, but it's what you have to do.
At least Bolvi has like buff ability. What the fuck does Gengar do? He has Unstoppable. Then he has that fucking two damage ability. Make it 3 after 6 energy.
It could be 3 if he gets an attack boost, right?
Spear.
Yeah, uses Spear or uses Wolf Claw, which is Wolf Claw was made for him.
Right.
But I still won't use it with him or play him.
Yeah. I will never play with him in this current iteration.
No, and also he came from an era where Firewalkers gave +1 to the Warlord, so there was options of like ways to increase his attack, relatively somewhat reliable for higher damage after 6 energy. But
they need an Urmar veteran,
and the game
they need Urmar veteran equivalent.
Yeah, at the game at this point at 4 energy, you should have some better tools, you know.
Yeah.
But we're lamenting about the Space Wolves a little bit too much. Collectively, though, I mean, like we've got a reason because of this event.
The event hurts.
I mean, outside of the choices, like the story is good. Like it takes part of that key moment where the Raven Guard basically rescue Leman Russ after he got handed his spear back to him from Horus. And Russ, who was literally like just giving up, like, which is so interesting when they find him. You know, he's wounded, and he literally is just like lost the will to live. He's just like, whatever, let them come. And think it's not Korax. No, it is Korax. Korax finds him and then talks with Bjorn, and then decides to make a stand with Russ against the traitor legions that like have followed them to that planet at that point. And something within that moment, like basically is like, well, then we'll die together, kind of like sparks the fire back in Russ. But it's really interesting that whole arc there, where they basically find this wolf who's laid down to die. And I don't know if that gets talked a whole lot about because it just is just in that one moment. But he's gotten his whole legion, like 75% of it wiped out. He lost to Horus. He failed on his quest. He's watched a lot of his old friends die. And he feels like it's all, even though he knows that the Emperor hasn't fallen yet, he would rather lay down and die than continue fighting. I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty much on his last legs too because of his injuries.
Yeah, his injuries are pretty stiff. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like he's mortally wounded, but he's not in tip-top shape.
No, it's fitting for the character. His own hubris being turned against him. It's nice. Lehman Russ getting his shit handed to him is nice.
Well,
it's not the first time it happens.
No, and I think the whole battle in Wolfsbane is good. I mean, that the whole story is written really well. The aftermath is really, kind of prefaced or like hinted at in the course of the book itself. And obviously, if you know the lore, you know what's coming, anyways. But it's more than just an ego check, because it's not like he's just going off like, I'll do this. He's like, I have to do this. I have to do this or die trying. And he doesn't do it, so he's willing to go die trying. Like, that's how determined he is. And then there's that point where like his character isn't done changing. Like, his character has to evolve and realize, like, yeah, you lost that fight, but you can't lose any. You can't lose the next one.
Yeah, it's good. Those books tend to be fun.
I'll take it. I mean, so as far as an event goes, it's flavorful.
It's a good time. It's good time period. As for the actual event, it's a very bad time. Simply because of some key warlord choices. Mm-hmm. Some questionable warlord choices, one could say. Be a better way to phrase it. Primarily because I don't want to fight Ravengard in an event after fighting them in ladder for so long.
It's Ravengard versus Ravengard, baby. That's what it is.
Yep.
It's
some people tell me that you got to run Sheed Ranko because he does good against Ravengard. I'm like, sure, if I survive to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I would like the idea. I like the idea, but realistically, it's not going to happen. Especially if they're ticking off missions, or if they get a Numa squad down turn 1, you're going to be. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to attack you. Your operatives aren't going to do jack to me. I'll just ping you. Ugh, makes me sad. I could vent more, but I won't.
For now.
I got my ass beaten by a Jorn as Sheed Ranko.
Oh.
That just says what kind of fucking wicked shit is this? But it's fun.
I like Sheed Ranko so much, but oh man,
stupid, but it's fun.
Yeah,
but it's stupid.
This is we can't all dwell on this event. There's enough.
It'll be over. It'll be over in 2 weeks, and we'll move on to the next event. And at some point,
already getting hamstered.
Yeah, at some point
on ladder by RG.
We've got supposedly a raid event is coming before this expansion is over, and a Titan event.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. That'll be interesting.
I can't say the Titan event will be fun. But
that's the interesting part. That's the interesting part.
What will we get though?
I don't know.
What is the prize?
That's the question. Here's what I hope. I hope it's a legendary warlord. I hope that it is. If it's not going to be the Emperor, because I think we could still go for like another 2 expansions before we actually have to add the Emperor. If it's not going to be the Emperor, give me a legendary warlord. Give me another Titan that's a legendary. Give me the equivalent of a legendary Imperial Army. We've already got the Assassin, but why not have another one? Scoria is the only legendary for Mechanicum, but Chaos has got 3 legendary warlords. They've got Gorborn, they've got Canis, and they've got Mandragorax. So let's get some legendary warlords in the other factions.
A legendary Chaos Warlord that isn't Cornate. I think that's
we already got one. We already got one that's not Cornate. Canis is a Thousand Sun sorcerer, so I guess you could call him Tzeentch.
Tzeentch? Yeah. Why not Nurgle? Why not Slanesh?
Well, people want Lord of Flies. He won't be legendary, but he would be Nurgle.
I mean, Lord of Flies in the chain of rewards for the raid, fine, but don't make him the final prize.
We don't need it anymore. We got Chaos Spawn.
I know that. You know that. There are people out there who don't know that. There are people out there who will live and die by every time we've lost Lord of Flies. And I at this point, I'm just going to say, give it up, guys.
I fear there is little to be salvaged here.
Give it up. Nobody cares about Lord of Flies. If you're still caring about Lord of Flies, and you're not caring about Corpheron, then take a hike.
I mean, Corpheron.
We got him, right? He's not great. We got him.
People kept telling me he was the next best thing for word bearers. Next best thing.
Well,
you watched Pirate Lahi's reveal of Corpheron. You will see how Corpheron performs. Because you can go, oh, that's just him playing it bad. No,
that's
Pirate's good at this game. Yeah, this wasn't Pirate being bad at the game.
No,
this was Corpheron being bad at the game.
He was the next best thing for the word bearers before they got that. Let me put it this way: because we didn't get Corpheron, they did the balance patch and redid the word bearers as a result of that. Because you're not going to get the guy that makes cultists? Okay, we got to figure out something else to make these guys better then.
Yeah, their entire game strategy was built around, these guys are going to get Corpheron. Oh, fuck.
Right. And then they didn't. And that was, to be fair, that was a close event. The matchups were fair. Unlike some matchups that we've had over the course of time, where it's been, Amit, Sheed Ranko, Ophion, you could almost argue with Ophion and Skravok.
Yeah, that was, I would say that was pretty fair.
Mm-hmm.
We got what we wanted in the end. We didn't.
Yes, and I think I like Skravok personally. I know we've talked about that before. I like how he's
he's neat. I don't like his character. I like him in the game though.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Yeah, having a terror world.
No one plays Gravok.
No, a good people played him. I know a couple of people ran him for a bit, but the problem is what you want to do is you don't want a warlord that controls the board in that faction. You want a warlord who rushes down the person's face while your cards control them.
I think Sevatar works so much better for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, which is exactly what Sevatar excels at. It's why you don't see a lot of Kurz or Slaymaster or Skravok or I'm forgetting their last one,
Malkarion. Yep.
Malkarion, there we go.
Malkarion and
you just see and you just see Sevatar. Because that's what you need.
That's what he does. He works, baby.
He's good. He's simple and he's good at it.
Yeah.
Not much more to say.
No.
He goes there and he gets the job done, and I mean you can't complain.
Well, I mean, what else we got to be fair, it's not like we've got new modes. We don't have new crazy stuff. We've talked a lot about the good stuff, which we've enjoyed. We talked about some of the stuff that we could see getting improved. And I mean, it's just been added. I think there's definitely room for improvement. And knowing EG's track record, I know they'll get to it. I don't know how long, but I know they will.
They're bound to.
Yeah,
they have to.
Is there anything else? Anything else with the 4th anniversary? Were you hyped? Did you dial in day one?
I mean, I was excited for it simply for the fact of it was new stuff. We don't get that often, and when it's good-looking new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any, I can think of peeves, like minor quality of life changes. I can't think of any immediate downside with this update. You can argue, what if you get a premium card when you really needed the gems of the duplicate? I've seen very few people who pulled premium cards out of normal crates. They are rare.
I have pulled, out of all the prestige crates I opened, I got 6 legendary cards, and I got 4 premium cards. So it actually had a lower drop rate. I got them. But yeah, it was a lower drop rate than the legendaries.
I don't doubt it. The premium crates, I mean, they're
the word
rare.
Says it all. It's premium.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be too they're. I've done the comparison too to foil cards. People get upset at me when I said that for some reason. saying that it's not
It's
similar.
the same thing. It's the
same exact. It's the exact fucking same thing. You get your foil card.
Yeah.
You put it in a little laminate cover. You're happy.
Yep. You might double sleeve it, and if you really want to be a dick, you put it in a hard case, and you have a hard case deck that's like 12 inches high.
But it's only like 5 cards.
It's exactly like this is it. Like what is that deck? And then when you shuffle it, it makes just a clacking sound. Like
even if you shuffle it, you can tell exactly what the card is if you put your head on the side.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be locked in place. There's a little bit deviation there.
That's awesome.
Cut my hard case deck. Triple sleeve.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, no, it's just foil cards are in the game now. It's a natural saying that card games get. I can't complain.
Yep.
Really, there's not much more to say about that. It's just solid update. There's not much to talk about because it wasn't a lot of features. They're just nice features.
Yeah. Yep, I think so.
An important thing to point out, though, is most of this feature was dedicated to the art team. That means they might have some stuff in the works because you really only need the artist working on most of it. Maybe we're getting something cool. We'll have to see.
Do you think there's just one artist that did all these frames, or do you think there's a team?
I know Everguild is a very small team, so it could have just been one guy. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, unless he's been working on this over time in his side project, and he's like, "Hey guys, I finally did it. I got frames for everything." It seems like this would be odd to task him with this out the gate.
Oh, definitely. But at the same time, I'm thinking of how many group legions, I guess you could call them in the game.
There's 30 plus
24?
Yeah, there's more than that.
Is there?
Isn't there?
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's 18 legions, but then you throw in Storm, Custodes, Agents of
I think there's 30.
Sisters, the 3 non-aligned, the 3 neutrals.
And the 3 neutral. So 6, 18, there's 3 there. Yeah, there's 30.
Uh-huh. That's a lot.
So he makes 30 cardboarders is indeed a lot. They must have been working on it for a bit.
And they're all animated, which is really unlike any other card art.
That's effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was mainly an art team thing.
Yeah.
So that could mean that if they might have people working on some other thing. Maybe they're working on alternative game mode. Maybe I'm just really making it a stretch at this point. I'm 100% wrong.
Whatever they give us, I'll take it. I'm not going to ever complain about new content. And the fact that people do, I make it sound like there's so many people who complain about new content. There's not, but every post, there's always somebody who's just kind of like, I don't like this. Like, how could you not? Like, if you don't enjoy the premiums, then don't go get them. But
no one is forcing you to use the free update.
If you've been playing this game for 4 years, then you should appreciate that you still can play this game. Like, that's the best part about it. Like, we're playing it for 4 years. This game's still going on.
Yeah, the worst thing we can say about this update is minor quality of life changes. Like mentor system 25 is a low level, maybe a little higher.
I would say 40.
Boost.
40 feels good.
Yeah, 40 feels good. And then boosters, maybe I can activate them when I want to. But all these are minor quality of life.
Yep. How about you, Cynical?
I had low expectations, and I was blown away. Especially when I got 1,600 gems. And as I said earlier, God bless EG, their hearts and souls, for giving me something to spend. I was half expecting for them to give me Archemus, but sad, I didn't get it.
That's all right. Hey, you know what though? You can pick it up the next time Fister in the shop. I think he's probably going to be the legendary on rotation, because we've done the mission. We just did Gunfried, right? So it's either going to be him or the Herrenberg.
Or Amand.
That's true. It could be Amand.
Please be Archemus. Please be Archemus.
They follow a specific order, so I could check what the order is, because I don't remember the Imperial Fist one. But then again, I used to be able to predict shops fairly accurately. I can't do that for shit.
We haven't had a neutral shop in a while. Where just all neutrals are all warlords. Back in the day, there would be 1 weekend a month where it would just be all warlords in the shop.
Yeah.
We also...
Even then, it's happened a few times. It happened a few times not long ago, too, but then ever since, I want to say, it was last Christmas? Not Christmas specifically, but that time of year was the last time.
I don't know. They should mix it up. We got so many cards in there. Although I won't complain about getting premium or alt art, Primarchs in shop every other weekend. I think that's a great strategy. It's really useful, I think, especially if we want to continue to have newer players or players who want to get the card that they want to play. They want to play a Warlord or Primarch. Give them those options. I mean, we used to never have them. That was like 2 times a year there would be a Primarch, and it was usually Mortarion and Vulcan. And maybe Ferrous Manus. Like, that was it. Like, all the good Warlords, like, oh, come on. Like, these guys again? Nobody's playing Mortarion. Stop putting him in the shop.
No one's playing Mortarion.
They
say they do, but they're not.
They put him in the shop for like 0 gems. They're like, please, just try him out. Try Mortarion.
Just try Stunlock spam. Trust us, you'll like it.
First hit's free. Come on.
And the kids hooked on phosphorus.
That's right. Hooked on phosphorus worked for me.
Also, I think it's been 8 months since Argahol Gorborn has been in shop. I want to buy that guy, but he hasn't been appearing in the shop for a long while.
I think that's true.
It takes a bit. They usually do a full rotation since their initial thing.
And because he's a neutral, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like the neutral.
Neutrals take forever.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's going to be Wolf Day soon, which was when Lehman Russ was put in shop the first time. Mm-hmm. Fucking International Wolf Day.
I feel
wait. As I have suggested in my first appearance in this podcast, make them give Lehman Russ his old art back as an alt art. With his horrible ass voice lines.
God, yeah.
I would spend $1 so other people could suffer with Jod.
You gotta hear the Jod, baby.
Come on.
Get that Jod. Drink it down.
Come on. That's untapped potential. Goofy ass Warlord collection or something like that.
I asked Parrot if he had that audio file for
he doesn't.
And he doesn't. There are a few audio files that have been replaced that simply don't exist anymore, and it's a shame.
That's one of them.
Because
it's lost media.
Yes.
It's lost media.
It's out there somewhere in the void, floating in the warp.
Yeah, very, very.
Sometimes what happens when we're in the Eye of Terror studios is we're doing recording and audio bits get lost in the warp, and 30 years from now, 10,000 years from now, they're just going to appear out of space, and you'll just hear words with no context whatsoever.
Is that how this works?
Yes, you'll be like retiring. You're at your children's graduation party, or you're sitting there like, oh, congratulations! And out of nowhere, Jod. You'll be at your spouse's deathbed. You're like, no, listen, it's been a good time. We've spent a lot of time together. This is it. Please don't leave me. And then out of nowhere,
Jod.
I am Astronaut. I am a counter.
You just check your YouTube or your favorite streaming service, and the first video is Lehman Russ old voice lines or something like that. And you click it before your dying breath. You just Jod.
That's it. One last time. I am ready. Last time. I am ready for the wolf time in my Jod.
The wolf time is coming.
Will you be ready for
it?
That's a good idea.
It's Everguild.
I don't know how that passed the test. I don't know how some of these voices passed the test, but they did.
I mean, Ascalion passed, man.
Don't get me
started. Everything is rearranged right
now.
You're not vulnerable, my ward.
Don't do me like this.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We've not gotten a full episode without someone inflicting mental anguish upon me, and for this, it's Jod.
You know what? I'm gonna send you some audio clips of Ascalon. Just
Please
keep it busy. Keep it going.
Oh, God, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well, Syndicalopithecus,
keep me going. That's gonna make me stop quick.
Yeah, Syndicalopithecus, when you're not playing Legions, what is it that you do?
I read books and play simulation games, and I train sometimes because I'm applying for law enforcement this year or next year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, fun might not be the exact way to put it, but that's neat.
No pain, no gain, or something like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Very nice.
The way you're rolling. It's the way you're rolling.
All right. How about you, Az? What you up backs to?
Well, you almost called me Ascalon there, and
I did because I'm going to send you this.
Oh, Oh no!
You make my mission
Oh
difficult.
God, what is this? Oh no!
I'm making your mission difficult, Axel.
You make my mission difficult. It's so bad. Same old, same old. I got another D&D session tomorrow. Half the party is being infected with lycanthropy. None of them know how to cure it, and there's no one immediately nearby to cure it. So we're going to see what happens. And it's a full moon in 3 days.
Ooh.
So we're going to see what happens when the party has to probably kill their paladin. Because the paladin kind of last session went, I'm going to just see what happens when I embrace the curse.
Interesting. I'm just going to see what happens. Let's just run this one out, guys. Like, yeah, I don't know. You're sprouting hair and fangs. Like, nah. Trust me, this is gonna be cool.
I think it'll be good. I mean, I'm a paladin. Nothing can normally kill me, so I'll be fine.
Come on, guys. What's the worst that could happen?
Fuck.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Well, I've got a lot of stuff on the calendar to do, but we can talk about that with plugs in a sec. Do you have anything to plug?
Anything to plug, Syndical? Because I always have the same one.
Nothing. I think check my YouTube channel, Dorado, Second Grand Company. That's all.
All right.
That's fair. And me, I think I'm going to do the same old, same old. I think I'm going to plug my boy Jorn. He does commissions. He does art. Did mine and Scuffs. They look really good. That's True Lee Clark on Instagram. If you like art, you want some art commissioned, he might be your guy. Just maybe.
All right. Well, I've got tomorrow night we've got the Steam stream. So by the time you hear this, the Steam stream for March will already have taken place. But that is something that happens every month that I'm working on doing. So keep your ears peeled for the date of the April Steam stream. I'll plan on giving away 1,000 gold. Play for some games on the Steam Community Hub. Like, that's basically it. Barnet Legions is on the 26th, so if you're listening to this podcast on the day that it launches, Barnet Legions Dirty 30 Barroom Brawl is taking place on the 26th of March, and that is going to be a tournament where we play casual, have fun, drinks, chat. The format rules are every warlord has to have 30 hit points, and every card in your deck has to be divisible by 3 or 0 energy. Drilling Site is banned. Looks to be a good fun time. It's our 30th Barroom Brawl. We've been doing it for, I think I started doing Barnet Legions in year 1 or year 1.5. And the very first Barnet Legions, we had 4 people. And I don't think any of them are still playing the game. Actually, no, I take that back. Snaggletooth is still playing the game. I don't know if Tribune is still playing the game. And I cannot recall who the 4th player was. And then it just has kind of evolved over time. We've gotten players come and go and play, and usually anywhere between 6 to 10 players. Good time. And then last but not least, I think I've got, I started doing some Twitch streams, although I'm not just streaming Legions on Twitch. I'm trying to make Twitch kind of just a general gaming whenever I've got time. I've got various 40k games, Mechanicus, Battlefleet Gothic, Armada 2, Space Marine. I'm looking to play Chaos Gate when that comes out. So if
that looks good.
Yeah. So if you're on Twitch, you want to check me out. Like, again, it won't just all be Legions. It'll be various games. I'll probably will play some non-40k games in there too, just as I feel like it, because that's what people do on Twitch. I could be doing worse things on Twitch, and I'm not.
You could be.
Yeah, I'm just going to be probably doing that like once every other week.
The question really is, when does the Scuff hot tub streams begin?
First off, that's already happened. That's a private showing. That's a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that costs money to get it.
That's what's that called? Like
I forgot.
The
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. It's the Scuff the OnlyFans. It's
God
OnlyFans. You don't want that. No.
I mean, maybe you do.
Maybe there's somebody out there who wants Scuffy OnlyFans. I don't know if I feel
maybe
comfortable.
The folks at home want Scuffy OnlyFans.
I would rather get this podcast sponsored by a non-OnlyFans customer first,
like Casper Mattress.
Let's get it sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, that's where we're going.
It's actually sponsored by Premium Deck Slots. This week, we're sponsored by Premium Deck Slots, baby. I have spent money, and when I say money, I mean gems, to make my Deck Slot Premium, and it feels pretty good. And I think you guys should try it out, too. If you've got the gems for it, take one deck. Take the cheapest deck you can get. Take an all-commons deck and just do it. Just do it. It feels good. And you want that feeling. You want that feeling inside of you. That's my advice to you. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you happier, if for only a moment, before you sink back to reality in the rest of your life, whether it is sad or happy. But for that one shining moment with that gold frame outlined in your deck slot collection, you'll realize you've achieved it. The premium deck
Life
slot.
is good.
Yes. So that is it. That's what I've got to plug. That's what I've got to hype for right now. Next week, we're planning on talking the Orphans of War. We've completed our faction spotlight with all of the Astartes legions. And
Finally.
we have got the non-Astartes legions and factions to go through, which are still quite a few. So the Orphans of War will be the first one we're doing. Not Custodes. I thought about doing them in the order that they, but for some reason, I had Orphans of War down first, and that's what we're going to go with. And then we'll hit, I think, Defenders of Caliban and the Night Houses, and then we'll get into the Loyalist stuff. Because I feel like Custodes and Sisters and Agents kind of run together, and maybe we can have some good threads of conversation where we can, like previously on the Warp Chatter podcast, and then we'll have some arguments take place and some lore debates, and be like, no, there's no way that Faldor is Yellow King.
Oh, look at you spoiling the book.
You know what? If you don't know that by now.
Yeah, it's been out 2 years now, which is fairly long time. Dan Abnett doing what he does best. I was just joking about his books earlier today. We got to explain some of the weird stuff in Inquisitor, like Annuncia. What do we do? Well, I'm writing a couple of the Horus Heresy books. I'm going to just sneak them in to say they've been around for longer.
That's right. I guess I'll
just
put
that in there. That bastard.
Enuncia, the language that is a weapon.
The language that doesn't exist.
I like the idea of that, where I can just say a word,
really cool.
And it hurts you.
But it's not a word. The key part is it's a word, but it's not a word.
It's the sound of chaos. Is it chaos though? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
I think it's a forbidden language, but I don't think it is rooted in chaos.
I think it predates chaos. Every time they mention it, they go, it's so old it predates the universe itself, to which everyone goes, what?
Yeah, well, maybe it's the tongue of the Slod?
Maybe it might. It's probably even older than them.
I don't know.
There's a couple. Well, there's the reason why I say that is there's a couple things in the Eisenhorn where it predates the Necrons.
Mm-hmm.
It's so Necron tier. It's so old.
Right.
And the Necron tier were around at the same time as the Salad.
And the Eisenhorn, the original Eisenhorn trilogy was before the Necrons were added to 3rd edition. So I mean, they were in the lore as a sub race, like in the rule book there was a picture of 5 or 6 other Xenos that are rumored, which included the Kroot. It had a Necron warrior. It had a Space Skaven, and then a couple other little odd diddly-doos.
Space Skaven, I forgot they were almost a thing.
Yes, but they weren't in the game yet, so the Necron Tour were just kind of this dead, lost race. They had a Codex Astartes rule book for here's a squad of Necron warriors, and you can have them as zombie robots. And then somewhere along the way, 2 or 3 years later, they made the 3rd edition Codex, and it has evolved since then. But the Eisenhorn trilogy predates all that. So
and it's really good too.
It's one of the best. It's a great entry into the 40K setting. If you haven't read it, you should.
Just as a reminder, remember, Dan Abnett's also the guy who writes the Tannis first and only, so if you're familiar with those characters, don't get attached to anyone.
100%.
I made the mistake when I was first reading them. I'm like, man, I really like these. No! And suddenly they're corpses.
He does it better, though, than George R. R. Martin, right?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't just kill people off because they're like, we need some shock factor.
Right. It doesn't feel like, hey, there's 5 people in this room. Somebody's going to die. There's reasons for each of them.
It creeps up on you. You never expect it.
Nope.
You go, oh man, everyone's living a really long, happy life right now. The minute you think a happy ending is happening, though, get worried.
Nope. There's no happy endings in 40K. Come on.
There can't be.
All
the
right.
The best a case a character has ever gotten was a short marriage. He got a happy ending riding off into a sunset, and then it just hard cuts to him being divorced. That was the happiest ending a character can get in a damn.
It's true.
The Magos.
Well,
a good book.
Syndical, thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's later for you there than it is us, or super early, one of the two. But I appreciate you making the time to talk about the 4th anniversary bonus features. I don't know what we would call it. Just the 4th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, it's good. For those folks at home,
I-
I don't know if it's still active by the time you hear this, but if you log on, you got a free crate full of stuff. Might be gone by the time you hear this, actually.
So yeah, thank you for having me here, man. It's been a great time. Axel, I got your name correct.
There we go. Hey.
Yeah. Axel and Stuff D, thank you. God bless you. Have a great day or a great night or whatever, and keep safe.
All right.
Especially in this trying times.
Everybody else out there as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
It ends here.
This has been another episode of the Warp Chatter Podcast. Thank you for listening.
I can't help but appreciate your talents.
It was inspiring.
I need some wood.